As soon as you're ready.
Give the speech, am I? Oh, yes. Yeah. Whenever. Okay, I'm doing my speech on gun control in America and about gun rights. So I was in the Marine Corps for 5 years. So I spent 5 years in the Marine Corps, and when you're in the military, you have to go through training and basic training or boot camp, depending on what branch you're in. And you do a 3-week course on weapons and weapon safety. So before you even know how to fire a rifle, you have to take a 2-week course on safety. Your last week is when you actually fire. So I'm an expert. You have 3 basic levels of qualification with your shooting. The first qualification is a marksman. It's a pizza box, we call it. Second option is your sharpshooter. Third one's your expert. That goes based off your qualification for shooting on a 200, 300, and 500 yard range. So I've got a lot of experience with weapons. You have to do that. You have to do qualifications every year and safety upgrades every year, safety training. So I've had a lot of experience in safety training. So basically what I think with guns in America, I think everyone should have the right to own a weapon. Everyone should have the right to protect their family. But I also think everyone has to go through a safety training course. I think there should be regulations on who can apply for guns to own them, which is why we have background checks and adequate gun safety training courses. The biggest appeal for that to me is safety, because I want my family to be safe, I want those around me to be safe, and there's a correlation between does gun control affect the crime rate? So according to the Cato Institute, there is no correlation between gun ownership and reduction in crime. Having a gun does not increase the crime rate around you, where you live. And that was done by the Cato Institute. The 3 things I'm speaking on were the crime control to gun control, so crime correlation to gun control, the effect of the media, and then how other countries and their populations are affected by murders with gun control. Everyone knows who these 2 people are, or you should. So the guy on the right is going to be James. He was, sorry, my notes are out of place. James Holmes. He was the Colorado shooter. He shot and killed 18 people in the theater. He also had a history of mental illness. He was seen as a psychiatrist at his school. That was brought to the media's effect. That was really not played out a lot. He was seeking help, and they didn't actually get the help that he needed, and he ended up shooting 12 people. The guy on the left is Jerry Lee Lachner. This hits a little bit closer to home. He shot Gabby Giffords in Tucson. He actually shot 18 people, and he killed 6 people. Gabby Giffords was shot in the head. She was a legislator down in Tucson, and she's still in recovery to this day. She's made a lot of progress. But the thing is, the media talks about gun control in America and how that could have been prevented. Criminals don't follow the law. They are not going to adhere to gun control laws. That's not what they do. They're criminals for a reason. They break the law. Nothing's going to stop them from doing that. These shootings are obviously caused by people with troubles with mental illness, and we see this with high-profile shooting attacks in America. Some of the things that have happened in America over the past few times was the Newtown shooting, where the young man went and shot a school full of children, including his mother, who was a teacher there. Virginia Tech shooting, we already spoke about Aurora and Tucson. These have all been high-profile shootings in America, but they've also all focused with people with mental illness, which is also something we need to look at, because we need to look at what the drug industry is doing, how the drug industry affects people who are under psychosis or with a mental illness. Speaking about Arizona, Arizona ranks number 88 in gun ownership in America, so we're, as population goes, 38th with most ownership, and 31% of Arizonans own a gun. So that's really not a huge percentage of Americans, or excuse me, of Arizonans. And I have our crime statistics here, which is kind of shocking for Arizona. Sorry. So according to the AZ DPS, there were 312 shooting deaths in Arizona last year. Excuse me, 312 murders. Of that, 60% were done by guns, which is 187 people. So 60% of people were shot with weapons, but only 31% of people own weapons. And we're actually ranked number 11th for gun deaths in the US. So we're the 38th ownership, but we're actually 11th for highest murder rate in the country, which that's already a direct correlation that increased gun ownership does not increase the murder rate with weapons. Looking at the USA versus Latin America, they have some different murder rates. These are the top 5 countries in the world, or some of the top 5 countries that have gun control laws. In Belize, they increased their gun rates, and it costs $500 US dollars a year for a gun permit there, which is ridiculous. And the weapons and ammunitions are skyrocketed to try and curb that, but they're actually ranked number 3 for murder per capita in the world. Belize has 44.7 deaths per 100,000 people related to gun murders. Guatemala has 39.9, and Venezuela has 53.7. America only has 4.7 compared to these two, and America is ranked 90th in the world for gun control deaths, or gun homicides. So that already shows you, and Guatemala, if you're caught with a weapon, you go straight to jail, but they're 5th for murder rate with weapons. So that's direct proof right there that increasing gun control does not save the crime rate or not drop people down. Excuse me. So as I pointed out, gun control does not reduce that. I think every American has a right to own a gun. You don't have to. That's their right. It's our Second Amendment right that we were given when the country was established. And I would rather protect my family and know that I have a gun in my house. I'm there to protect my family, rather than because criminals will obviously come into your house. They'll break the law. It's up to you to protect your family, because it takes cops time to get to your house and respond. It's up to you to protect your family. The world's not a safe place.